Hello everyone, my name is Betharn and I welcome you to Theory Thursdays. This is the brand new early access game, Starship Theory. Just came out today. It's very fun, very brutal, and very much early on in its career of being a game. So it's a little rough around the edges and it isn't tweaked the best, I feel. So we're going to dive in and just see how it goes. So you start here with a little escape pod, 4 little dudes, and this is your interface here that tells you what's going on. This is your ship and all the basic information on it. This is your resource stash in your cargo hold here. The first thing you have is metal. It's your most basic resource. You build everything with it. It helps expand the size of your ship, and you need it to build every little component, but depending on what it is more metal or less, so it's just the basic thing you need. Now the next thing you're going to look at is silicon, which is your more advanced material. It's used for any electronics on your ship, basically, so just look at it as expanding the functionality of your ship. So you have the size of your ship, the functionality of your ship, and then gold, which is the technology-related resource. This expands the tech level of your ship, basically. So you use this to get the research station so you can learn new things and all that fun stuff, and I'm sure it's used for other like really expensive, fancy things later on in the game. So next you have your survival materials. You got your foods, you got your waters, you got your credits to buy foods and waters and metals and silicons and all that fun stuff. The next thing you'll have is your actual limit on your cargo hold. So if you fill this up, you won't actually be able to take in any new resources. We'll be burning through almost all of that pretty quick here. The next thing you got is your power gauge, and then you have your CPU gauge. This is similar to Eve, if you ever played that, but nice simple version. You just have a little bit of power, a little bit of power grid, and you need power to power a new power grid, so it plays on itself like that. The next thing you have is your plan window. This is for building things. We'll dive into that shortly here. The next thing you have is your roles. This is the jobs each of your people play. Everyone's starting at general. The first thing you want to do is go 1, 2, 3, 4. We want 4 engineers, no general people. We have a lot of building to do. So the next thing you're gonna do is open your crew panel. I usually like to put it up in the corner here. AI ships pop up here, so this kind of gives it here, and you want to keep this spot up here free for asteroids. I'll explain that in a little bit here. The next thing, tasks, I like to stick them right over here. This will tell you like what you're building, what you're repairing, and you can reorder the tasks a bit and get things done faster. Next is your components. These are all the components on your ship. They'll actually light up on the right there, and you can turn them on and off. And if you want to save power or move power around, all that fun stuff. The next thing is research, which we'll leave there for now, and then we also have notifications. It just keeps stuff on screen so you know what's coming up. Alright, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to expand our ship, and we're going to expand with 2 little hull plates here. This will give us more hull building surface area, and then the second surface area that you can build with is floor. The floor is basically all your internal stuff, like actual beds, food dispensers, consoles that your people work with directly. And then your hull build real estate here is used for things on the outside of your ship, like solar panels, CPU grids that don't need to be inside the ship per se. Obviously your airlock and things like that. Like your guns and your weapons will all go out here too. Things like that. Now you need these actual tiles, so I want these 2 tiles free because I'm going to eventually make those floors, so my ship will expand out in these directions. And then these ones I'm actually going to use for some of the most important things in the game. Number 1 being our mining laser. We need this to gather materials. It costs us 10 metal, 5 silicon, 7 power, 10 CPU to power it, and then it's got 15 structural integrity, so it's not the strongest block in the game. Regular hull blocks are 40, so we're going to throw this in the very front of your ship. Now, the thing that any weapon or obviously mining laser does is generate heat. It's one of your main resources mechanics you need to balance your ship around. It's going to be this bar right here. This is how much heat your ship has, and everything you do offensively or mining like or anything like that will generate heat, and you need to dissipate it with a heat vent. And we're going to throw down 2. 1 isn't sufficient in my opinion. You have to be way more careful when you do it that way. The other thing we're going to need, and it's going to be a floor space item, is our water cooler, because if you don't have one of these built, you will basically die of thirst before you can expand your ship with any more floor plates. And if you put it right here in front of the engine next to the airlock, they cannot use the airlock because that tile is kind of blocked. So we're going to throw it right there, and then we're going to go ahead and toggle our speed here to fast. From that's slow, that's fast. Now we're going to have these guys build. We have 4 engineers, so all of them are going to do something. Asteroid field detected. This happens immediately every single time you play. You kind of need the resources from it, so they just chuck you right in, and you go. And this actually will tell you how many resources what your building is going to cost you, and then they don't get spent until they're actually built, which is interesting. So we have everything built, sort of. We can't actually turn all these things on because we don't have the power and we don't have the CPU. So now that we have these extra hull plating, since we don't want to build here right now, we want to go down here, we want to grab engineering, we want to get a small solar panel and throw it here, and a CPU panel and throw it there. So we'll build those guys up, and that'll give us enough power and CPU to power everything on the ship, and then we can just kind of sit back and relax for a minute. We're going to grab this mining laser, turn it on, hit Control 2, lock it to group number 2, so anytime we press 2 we can just grab our laser, because we're going to need it quick. Now, I was explaining earlier, you want this spot clear to see asteroids. I usually will fly through the field about here like this, and that's your mining laser, the range. Maybe zoom out a little bit. Now we're going to go to slow speed in the asteroid field. You need the reaction time. Now the first thing I will tell you need to do is see this box right here, all this stuff in front of you. It needs to be destroyed. Any asteroids up here need to be destroyed. Number 1 priority. Stop mining anything you see. Destroy this asteroid as soon as it's in range, which is about here. If you do not, there's a chance it will hit your ship. If it hits your ship, you're basically screwed. So do not let it happen, because it's really hard to recover early game from any kind of resource loss. Alternatively, if it smashes the floor out of your ship, you're dead. Period. You cannot recover from having your floor smashed. You can actually build the floor up before all your guys die, but as far as I can tell, you cannot generate oxygen for your ship. I think that's a later game thing. So this needs to be destroyed because it's in our way. So let's get to it. The thing you notice there is I overheated. The mining laser is generating heat and it's actually getting all dissipated real quick. When you're mining ore, I'm not sure the exact numbers, but I know it is more. I think it's double the heat generated when you actually shoot ore. So you need to be careful when you actually mine ore. You can see my heat is building up real quick there. This little rock might hurt us. No, that's good. So you want to be careful. Those little rocks can do damage. They won't do as much damage as the larger ones, so you don't have to worry as much about them. So there's some metal right there. Let's get this little guy since there's nothing in front of us at the moment. And again, if I'm mining this guy and I see a big rock in front of me, I want to stop and get the big rock, because we do not want to get hit. It is just not worth any tiny bit of resource you can get from that rock to actually get your ship damaged. I think as long as you don't lose components, though, it doesn't cost you anything to repair, but I could be wrong. I haven't... So I'm overheating again. So they're going to repair this. I'm going to see if... so he's repairing. Our heat's fine. But you can see the damage done to my laser already. It doesn't look like they're using components. Maybe if it's taken heavy damage, it'll use some metal to repair, but I'm not sure. But still, try not to overheat. Obviously, always a bad idea. That one rock we want to smash in front of us, but since that one metal ore was flying away from us, you only have a limited range and angle to get it, so you want to try to get it, but don't risk your ship. It's no amount of resources is worth it. So I'm good on overheating. Alright. So get a little bit of water there. This is where you get this will get all your water, iron, and silicon. We see his ship on scanners. This happens every game so far that I've tried. The first ship has always been peaceful. They always want to trade. Pretty good, since you really don't have much time to build weapons to fight off anybody, and your jump drive is not charged. So we're going to wait for him to show up. Hopefully, my favorite is when they show up with silicon to sell to us, but that doesn't always happen. Sometimes they'll actually try to buy our silicon, which I would never sell at early game, even though we don't have any. We do have some metal to expand our ship. I could expand our ship, but I don't want to right now, simply because I don't want to have to defend more of the ship at the moment. I want to try to get some of the components first. There's some silicon that we need. So we're about to overheat, so let's let our ship cool down, and then we'll grab the rest of this ore. And I'm going to pause right here, and we're going to go over the trader. So this is him, his name, his stats, all this nonsense. I'm sure shields and stuff will show up later if your sensors are powerful enough or whatever. Alright, so we can sell silicon. We're not going to do that. We actually can't do this unless we actually have the full 11. It's 10.2 each. It won't sell 5. It'll just say no. We can't sell those. We don't really want to buy water. We're fine. We don't really need food either. But we will go ahead and buy some metal. Why not? And then you can sell your crewmen, but I'm not going to sell anybody, so we'll just do that. And hopefully he'll run into a rock or two and open it up, see if there's any ore inside of it for us. If he had been on our left, that would have been more useful to us. But that big rock up there, he might break up, which would be good. I might get that little rock too. Because once it overlaps your ship, there's a chance it'll hit, and your engines give you an evade chance of it not hitting you. So there are some people I've seen rip off their engine because it is a decent amount of resources. It's got like 10, I think it's 10 silicon. I think you get full resources back for dismantling items, which is good, considering you have to move them around your ship. But I don't, for moral reasons, basically want to rip off the ship because to me it doesn't make a whole lot of sense to zip around in space without the engine, even though technically it works. Once you're going, you don't need the engine. But even though it's a little abstract where you're always just moving straight in a line in this game and never stopping, I still feel like you would need an engine. So these stars will overheat your ship. You can see my heat's going up even though I'm not firing my laser or anything. So once you're near a star, those 2 heat vents will come in handy. So you can just keep your ship cooled down and not like melt, because you can take some damage. We can even do a little bit of mining, it looks like. I just got to be extra careful and watch your heat at all times. Once I bump over half, I'm gonna drop off my laser and let it cool down a bit. Right, so we got some gold in here. All right, so that heat us up a bit. I want to get this guy so he doesn't smash our laser or any damage. Right, so let's get a couple more rocks. A lot of these space games have great soundtracks. I really like the soundtrack in this game. I don't know if it's just the one track or... It's fine by me. Now it's overheating because I'm in the star and I'm not paying attention. Our water cooler's on fire, so it's not powered. And that's something we need to do right now. I'm going to go ahead. This guy's idle. I'm going to click him and press I. As far as I know, you have to force them to do these things. So I'm going to go ahead and grab everyone and make them drink so they don't fucking die. I'm about to die of thirst, but I'm not going to drink water by myself. You gotta tell me to do it. I hope that's not something he's gonna keep it. I mean, I think I know what he's trying to go for it if that's what he's intending. But it doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me, so I don't know. Take it or leave it, I suppose. Well, just a lot of mining early game. Then you get to build all the fun stuff eventually. What I think we need to look at is we got a little bit of silicon here. Let's start expanding our ship here. Let's go ahead and build some more hull plates. I'm gonna go ahead and do this. So if we do this, we can build these 3 spots into floor plates. I think I'm gonna move that airlock once we do. And then we'll be able to use that spot too. So this will give us 4 spots. And I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna put some things over here out of the way. So we might be able to move our water over here and have our food over here, and then we want a navigation console, or not, we want a research console as soon as we can afford one, which I think is a 5 or 10, but we need to use this anyway. Food dispenser's 2 silicon anyhow. So let's go ahead and expand our ship this way, and then we'll also expand it this way so we can have a food room and then like another room with stuff, but we'll also maybe use this. And here we'll throw things like the research and navigation consoles and stuff like that. But we pause because we want to keep mining while our guys are doing work. Let's go ahead and have them expand one side of the ship first, and we'll get the food dispenser down. Since our food's dropping to our, it's about half soon. So we want to make sure we feed these guys before they die. We'll plan ahead a bit. The energy 2, I'm not sure. I've seen other people sleep on the floor, but this is a new patch, so I'm not sure if he changed that or if it's really bad to have them sleep on the floor or not. So we might try to get a bed over here as well. Now I think, can I floor this yet? I can floor this. So, yeah, because it's got, those are all walls around it. Once all these are built, again, these 3 can be floored. We can move our airlock over here. I'm wondering... I think what we'll do is after these are all built, we'll move our airlock. Maybe stick it right up front here. And then... it's going to be bad. Yeah, we'll put the airlock up front and we'll keep expanding out this way. And then we will... Let's build another airlock and we'll stick it right there. And then we'll disassemble this airlock and see what we get back for it. We should have another asteroid field coming up here to get some more materials. But we're basically only working with five new silicon, so we can get a food dispenser and maybe... I think the nice thing about the heat vents... Oh, they actually do cost silicon. I thought they did not. Yeah, so we can actually get another heat vent. So let's get these floors in. As soon as we get that airlock built, we can rip apart this airlock. So we can get back... Actually, we want that floor built first, too, so they don't get stuck outside the ship. Because that would not be good. So we're doing okay on water. That should last us quite a bit, actually. So these do take forever to build. So what we're probably going to do, we're going to leave this walkway up here. So we're going to go ahead and put our food dispenser here. We'll leave the water there, and we're going to go ahead and try to put the research down here somewhere as well. Probably just stick it back next to the engine. And then if we need to move the water one, we will. So let's go ahead and grab our food dispenser. And, okay, the way you rotate, for me, at least, is the buttons on my mouse, the forward and back buttons. I'm actually not sure what the other buttons are. So I'm going to stick the food dispenser right there. That, I'm pretty sure, is the back against the wall and the front forward. I think that's important. Alright, so let's actually take this and we can remove the airlock. I think. Let's see, yeah, I can remove it from inside the ship. Okay, so yeah, I'm not paying attention, that's bad. So now, see, if I had built on the other side of the ship, this wouldn't be as threatening of an asteroid, but I think it's... Okay, we got it just in time. That's good. So that's why you don't want to expand your ship out too quickly, too early. Because then you have to a lot more surface area to defend. So go ahead and kill this guy, get some more metal. Got a new ship coming. It should be another trader. Early game, I've not... The first 2 or 3 ships have always been traders from what I've seen in my testing games. Alright, let's get this guy. He should pop any second here. Alright, got him. So let's go ahead and get this guy next. I think he's in range. He is. Right, so we got food handled. And now the next... Okay, so hopefully this trader has silicon, and then we can get... I want 2 more. See, we need power, though, because we need power for the research station. But what we can probably do is operations, navigation, research station. Requires 10 power and 10 CPU. The mining laser is 7 power, and the heat vent is 5 power. So what we can probably do is... We can't feed our... So we don't really... So that's actually... So this is how you can actually do this stuff. You can actually turn off your water cooler. And then we can actually turn off our mining laser when we're not in an asteroid field, and then we can research, for instance. Or we can turn off a heat vent. I don't think it gives us quite enough power. Can we turn off a... How much power... CPU... That requires a bit of CPU, too. Alright, so we're gonna... We just need to get... We need to build more power and stuff, too. So let's see if we get a nice load of silicon where we can start expanding our... ship properties, because we actually have another star ahead, which might be in this asteroid too, which will... They're hostile. They're not currently hostile. Okay. Shit, they want to buy silicon from us. That's not what I want. Alright, so we can get some more metal here. So that kind of hinders us. There's not much we can do then. We have... Like I said, we can get our research panel and turn off ship components to power it. So I think that large asteroid is fine. Yeah, it's not going to hit us. So I'm not going to deal with it since it takes forever to break apart. And we want to get these 2 little guys out of the way. There's nothing in there, nothing good. He's very close to clipping us. I mean, I think there's a chance that he could hit us. I'm not sure how the hitbox on these things work, so. Right, so we got that. So we have him. What we need, how much is our power cost? I forget. Okay, so we should be fine on that. The power is 2. I'm gonna go ahead and build another solar panel back here. Again, we're using our hull space here. Okay, so he's gonna hopefully smash that up for us, and we're gonna have to be careful here anyway because mining next to a star is gonna increase our heat high. So we'll do that. So we have more power. We only have 2 silicon now, so we need to be careful. Here we actually turn on our food dispenser and our water, and we can actually make. Okay, I need to check because I actually don't even remember the controls. The controls in this game are a little wonky. So we should take control. Order, eat, order, drink. K is eat. All right, so I'm gonna grab. Can I grab all these people? I'm gonna grab all of them, and I'm gonna press I to make them eat and K to make them drink. Does that not work? K, I, K. Alright, so let's grab our mining laser. We need to smash this guy because he can hurt us. So our guys are eating and drinking. Some of them are. Okay, so he can, K, hopefully he eats. Yeah, okay, we're low on, we lost some food. We need that. We need that. Give me that. It's flying away, so you want to get it. And we have nothing that's going to run into us, but we are overheating. We're going to lose. We're going to lose our laser. Okay, that was stupid of me. I was excited and really wanted that silicon. So I'm not going to do anything until this laser is repaired. We lost out on some water, but it's better than losing a laser, which is a loss of 5 silicon. All right, so we're not overheating, so let's grab this metal. We're overheating, so stop firing. Now let our heat dissipate, but we also need to kill this rock, so we need to kill it without overheating. This is the main early game struggle you're gonna have. I think we're doing all right here. I got some water. Oh, please don't overheat. I thought it stopped firing all of a sudden. All right, so what we have here is unhappy people. We also need to make sure. Okay, so this guy needs to eat. So I'm gonna press K, and this guy's gonna press I for water. And I think they can only do one at a time. And somebody's morale up top is bad. So we have, I'm going to throw down this research station now. And I'm not, oops, research station, and we're gonna move it around. Okay, all right, so that's that way. So we're gonna throw it right there and see if they can use it while the water cooler's there. If not, we'll just move the water cooler, because I think you get all, as far as I can tell, you got all your components back, because I didn't think we lost anything from that airlock. And what we can do is actually turn off our heat vents and our laser to use the console until we get more. No, we got resources for everything now, so we're good. Returning to ship. Okay, his morale is dead. I don't know how to fix that. His morale is also gone, but he needs to drink before he dies. I think everyone else is full. This guy needs to eat, so we'll do K to eat. Go ahead and smash this big one. It's not in our way, but it's more in our way. It's a bigger one, so I'm gonna choose this guy to smash up. I'm constructing the research station. Nobody's constructing the research station, so I think this water cooler is in the way. So we're gonna go ahead and destroy it, and then see if they can build the console. Oh, you know what we might actually need is a science officer. And I'm going to find, who's our best? Lewis can be our science officer? I don't know how to do that. Yeah, okay, he's general. Alright, so he should build our science console. Why are they not building this thing? As far as I'm pretty sure that's that direction. Why aren't you building this thing? Does it tell me? Does it tell me why I can't build it? I think resource check silicon. Oh, do I need 10? Oh, I need 10. Oh wow, that's duh. Okay, I was thinking 5 for some reason. I do not know why. Alright, so we'll leave that guy there then, and hopefully we got a silicon